Hi, welcome to Freezer Meals 101. I'm Christy.
And I'm Charlotte. This is so exciting. I know we get excited about freezer meals, but like,
we get excited about the weirdest things.
Exciting.
This is exciting.
We love to be able to bring you guys budget meals.
It's true.
It's just passion.
We like it for ourselves.
Yes.
I mean, it's okay to be frugal. It's a bit of an art. My husband, it's a personality, but I love him. He's cheap. That's okay. And so when you find the deal, when you can sniff out that sale, you're still proud of yourself because you know why. Like you get something, you get better value, you get something, right? But it's
less stressful, right? When you're not like worried about the rising cost of groceries and all. When you feel like you can actively do something about it, because you can't control inflation. You might think you can. You can't control inflation.
No, you can't. So you really just have to do the best with what you have. And that's, I think, with everything in life. But sometimes something comes along your way.
Yes. And so that's what happened here. And we have done some videos for you in the past. I'm going to link to one actually right there that are, where we try to make meals for like under $10 each, under $5 each, whatever it is. We've done some of those inexpensive, frugal freezer meals before. And freezer meals already save you so much money.
They really do. You're not hitting the drive. That's the biggest thing, I think. I mean, besides catching the sales and eating at home is cheaper, you are not hitting the drive-through.
And you're actually using what you buy because you've meal planned and you're using it. It's not going to waste in your crisper. And then you're ending up throwing it away. And if you get a sale on meat, which is what we're talking about today, then you can actually buy a lot of it, use it, and not waste it because you're putting it into your freezer. It's going into actual meals, which are going to be eaten. So it allows you to actually take advantage of those sales, like full advantage.
Now, there are some women in our freezer meal group on Facebook, nicest place on earth. These are some really, really lovely people in there. But there's a few of you I have in mind, you know who you are, that cannot pass a sale. And it's becoming quite funny in the group. They're like, guys, listen, I found this sale, and this is what I made with it. And we're so proud of them, and we're so excited that we can be part of teaching them how to do this.
They're like buying the big cuts of meat and
making their own steaks and making their own pork chops, and oh my goodness. And
it's inspiring.
And one of them lives fairly far away from Costco, and so when she goes to Costco, she goes to Costco and then we'll make freezer meals for days, but then she'll have a stacked freezer. Like you've seen our freezer, right? Like you've seen Charla's, it's pretty stacked. But then she'll be like, but then there was a sale at the co-op and I couldn't help myself. And so I can't imagine what. Sue, we want to see your freezer. I'd like to see your shop now that you're done roofing it. Okay. We talk about life. It's good to know our people that are watching us.
And so this video was actually not planned. Normally when we do our frugal freezer meal videos, I plan them ahead. I do all of the math. I figure out how I can get it down, cost per serving, all of that. And so we have a plan going in. This was, I went to the store. I had seen in the flyer that they had a sale called Plenty for 20.
Right.
But you can't do any planning around it because each individual store in this chain would every day pick different meats to put on sale to include in this Plenty for 20. So you don't know until you arrive what's included. So I couldn't plan until I got there. And then one of the things I'm going to tell you right now, if you are in our Freezer Meals 101 club, you can have that on your phone. And then you could just type in whatever kind of meat you bought and then you could plan. So then you could get the rest of your groceries. Now, thankfully, I have that memorized.
Yes, she does.
Plus, I have access to it on my phone, but I really do have it memorized.
She knows what's in there, which is really funny because sometimes it's faster to ask you than it is to look it up myself.
I saw what was in the Plenty for 20, and I had a really hard time deciding because I picked up some and put them back, and like I was like, well, maybe I could, and it got to the point where I was like, I have to be reasonable. I know that I have limited space right now in my freezer. So I can't, like, sometimes I might have gone in there and bought 16 packs or, you know, or more, 20 packs, because just to be able to take advantage of this sale and make it into meals. But we've got for you today under $40. Now we live in Canada, so groceries tend to run a little bit more expensive here than they do in the US. So we're telling you, for under $40, we're gonna make 32 servings today.
It's true.
With meat.
With meat.
One of the recipes is not gonna have meat, but it's gonna be hearty and good and all the things. The other recipes with meat, like,
that's kind of unheard of, and it's a special day. It's a special day because we have the meat.
So
plenty for 20.
My plenty for 20. I got beef stir fry strips, because we have a zillion recipes we can make on these.
Yeah, we really do.
We did a video specifically when we found a 2-for-1 sale on these, and we bought so many. So we had a lot of, I'll put a link there to that, but you can do a lot with beef stir fry strips, and they're already cut, so it saves the work. This is a ground beef and pork blend.
She told me about it, and the first thing I said is, meatballs! We have something different, slightly different planned, but you could make great meatballs out of that.
Meatballs, right? And then some of you might know I'm on a bit of a ground chicken kick.
It's true. It's so affordable.
It is.
Here it is. It isn't maybe everywhere, but right now, here where we are, ground chicken is like the cheapest meat you can buy. And
I am obsessed, like actually obsessed, with ground chicken taco meat on my nachos. I can't get enough, and I'm trying to eat more protein because I don't eat a lot.
I would give it to you. I have one left. I would give it back to you.
Oh, that's so
sweet. You can have it, yes.
But we're making more today.
We're making more today.
So this was an easy thing to decide what to do with. We have actually quite a few ground chicken recipes in the club. Like,
we do. Well, we've been doing a bit of a deep dive on frugal meals for a while, and so when we realized how affordable ground chicken was, we're like, we're doing everything.
Hog wild.
Chicken wild.
Rooster wild.
That's funny.
And then some pork chops. And we're going to try a totally new recipe that we've never done before with these. So not completely guaranteeing anything.
If you've been with us before, we've been on a pork chop search for a while.
On my way home, I had to stop at a different grocery store because the grocery store where I was had actually, I should have taken a picture of this so I could show you guys, because I was like, what is happening? But their freezers were shut down. They'd had it was flooded under their freezers, and so they didn't have any frozen stuff, and I needed to get a few frozen things, actually quite a few frozen things, and so I was like, obviously I'm going to be stopping at another store. So there's a store that's actually on my way home, so I stopped in there, and the very first thing I saw was 99-cent pasta sauce and pastas. Like, look how big this is. 99 cents. So obviously I was already in the mindset of like, we're gonna make a video of frugal, and so I was like, okay, I'm buying a lot of the pasta sauce and pasta, and in our family we go through pasta a lot, so it's like, it's not gonna go to waste for sure. But I've already used half of the macaroni noodles to make my Mom's Monday macaroni into a freezer meal.
Oh, good.
Because we've been talking about, that came up in our childhood favorites
That's right.
video, and so
you made it.
I made it as a freezer meal, and it worked. And we're gonna show you that recipe in a casseroles video that we've got coming up. So that's exciting, because I was like, I would really like to get over 30 servings for this video. Like under $40, 30 servings. I think that would feel good, right? And so I did some math, and I figured out that using the pasta and the pasta sauce and frozen meatballs from Costco, we are going to be able to make a meatball casserole.
Ah,
It's amazing. And right? And it's good. So we have so much like meat and like hearty meals. Like we're not talking, you're not going to be just eating rice and lentils like for this $40.
Absolutely.
So we're excited. And if you live on your own and you're wondering like, well, how could I take advantage of these sales, right? Just as an example, these pork chops, what you can do is you can take the marinade that we're going to show you today. You can put each one of these into a quart size, that's a medium size freezer bag, and divide the marinade between the 4 bags. And then you have 4 meals that you can pull out and have. And same with this taco meat. You can use it for all kinds of things, honestly.
All kinds of things.
And so
not just chicken tacos.
No, and you can mix it into your eggs. You can have a taco salad. You can have, obviously, tacos. You can have it on your nachos like I'm doing.
One of our favorite things to do with it is the lettuce wraps.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it's restaurant quality.
So good.
You don't freeze the lettuce. You need to have a fresh head of lettuce. But it is so good.
We're making meatloaf, not meatballs, with this blend. But for this, if you're on your own, we actually recently did some individual meatloaves in little tiny loaf pans.
Right.
And so you could just divide this between a few different loaf pans. So this video is still for you if you live on your own. And same with this, you just divide it among different bags. So I hope that we're gonna inspire you today.
Because you can tell we're excited about it, right?
Yes. And we're gonna get to the recipes now.
This first recipe is ginger beef. So we're going to start out with our beef strips. We're going to add in some onion that's thinly sliced, some minced garlic, minced ginger. Now we like to get the ginger that's in the squeezy tube. Same with the garlic. We get it pre-processed because we make so many freezer meals. It is really just worth it to us to have that ready on hand. If you want to mince your own garlic and you want to grate your own ginger, please feel free to do that. But we do like the squeezy tube and the jar of garlic. We add in some beef broth, some soy sauce, and we're gonna just mix that all together right in that freezer bag. We're gonna remove the excess air because the air is gonna cause the freezer burn and the frost in there. So the less amount of air in there, the better. We're gonna freeze these. Then when the day comes to cook, you wanna let it thaw and you can just throw it in your crock pot. Put it in for 3 to 5 hours. The crock pot is going to break down that beef and it is so tender and so delicious. This is wonderfully flavorful and I promise you're going to love it. Just serve it on some rice with your vegetables and there you go.
The ginger beef actually comes in as our second most expensive recipe. I know. At $7.25 for 4 servings, so $1.81 per serving, because we've got the beef and all of that, but mostly because some of those things like the ginger, the soy sauce, I've factored in your onion cost. Like we're including every little thing. We're even including seasonings in the cost here.
That's right.
So this is $1.81 per serving, but I think it's worth it. So since we're talking about the most expensive, I'm going to give you the least expensive next, just to take off the sticker shock.
The sticker shock of $1.81.
Okay, so this is our baked pasta, and it is using those 99-cent jars of pasta sauce and the pasta. So for this, we're gonna put in a large freezer bag some onion that's been diced or minced, some minced garlic, Italian seasoning, some cooked pasta. We're going to undercook the pasta slightly so that when you're reheating it, it doesn't get mushy. So you're gonna take it out about a minute or 2 before the package directions say, and you're gonna drain that and add it to your bag. Then you're gonna put in 2 of these jars of pasta sauce. Now you're going to, in a separate medium-sized freezer bag, put 1 cup of mozzarella cheese that's already shredded. Now, I couldn't believe it, but there was a sale on mozzarella cheese.
Of course there was.
Of course there was, but this sale made it less expensive for me to buy the shredded mozzarella than to shred it ourselves.
Isn't that funny? Mozzarella is that way sometimes.
Yes, it is.
It isn't like that with cheddar, but we find often that the shredded mozzarella is cheaper, like gram for gram or ounce per ounce, than the block, and to shred it yourself.
Totally. And so it's saving you a step because you're not having to grate it yourself.
Right.
So you're going to seal both those bags, getting the air out. You're going to staple them together above the seal. And then on the day that you go to cook it, you're going to thaw it and dump the large bag contents into a casserole dish. Top it with that mozzarella cheese, bake it, and it's going to be ooey gooey goodness. And this is going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing.
Simple, right? But hearty. And this entire meal for 6 servings is $4.54, which comes out to 76 cents a serving. And that includes the cheese.
That's awesome.
I know, I've blown your mind, right?
My mind is totally blown. It's true.
76 cents a serving, including cheese.
For 6 people.
Yes. Well, $4.54 to feed 6 people. And so let's say you know, somebody wanted to come over for dinner, and so you needed to fancy this up. Mm-hmm. You could say, can you pick up some garlic bread? Can you bring a salad? And you could feed 3 couples.
Yeah,
and
you really
you've
could.
only spent $5.
Yeah, you really could. That's awesome. You are right.
It's awesome. I love the sales.
You do love
so
the
much
sales.
fun.
I love the sales too, but you get like excited about the sales.
I do, because we hear from you guys, and we hear that a lot of you are on a fixed income, and this changes your life. Like when you're able to save hundreds of dollars a month on your grocery bill, it changes your life. And so
we want that for you. We want that for you. So
we do.
Yes, sometimes it isn't always the frugal show. Today is the frugal show. Pay attention. This is really great food that anybody can access. This next recipe is Charlotte's all-time favorite ground chicken recipe.
Yeah.
And it is the chicken taco meat. The ground chicken taco meat. So we start up by just cooking up our ground chicken. In the bag, we just are going to have that. We're going to add in 4 tablespoons or 1 packet of taco seasoning. We buy the bulk because it does work out to be cheaper in the long run. A little splash of olive oil, and you mix it around in there, and that is it. On the day of serving, you are going to want to just heat this up, and like Charlotte said, you can put it on eggs, you can put it on tacos. She loves it on nachos. She has taken nachos to a new level. I was at her house earlier and I noticed there's a cookbook back there called 50 Nacho Recipes. And I thought, did you buy that for yourself or did somebody buy that for you as a gift?
My brother and sister-in-law bought that for me for Christmas, along with 8 different hot sauces.
Oh, they knew you.
A pan, like a nacho.
Oh my
tray,
goodness,
and so,
that was a gift of love.
Yes,
for this woman.
It was like a themed basket.
Now listen, this will feed 6 people if you're making nachos or if you're making tacos, whatever you're making. Altogether, it was $5.50, which works out to, drumroll please, 92 cents per serving.
Yay!
That's incredible.
It's incredible. And I know that you are going to have to put more into this because you're going to put it on something.
Yes.
But still, for you to be able to beef something up and, well, you're not beefing it up, you're chickening it up.
That's twice we've...
Fun.
That's twice we're like mixed metaphoring our meat.
Our meat. If money is so tight that you cannot afford the lettuce and the tomatoes or whatever it is to make this into tacos, then have this on hot dog buns with some cheese on top, or have this in a wrap. This would go really well in a wrap. So, you don't have to have it be in tacos. I just want you to have some flavor. And no matter what budget you're on, you deserve to have some flavor in your life.
Yeah, you do.
And if you can afford it, and I know not all of you can, but if you can afford it and you see this kind of sale or any kind of sale like this on meat, and you know that you can turn it into freezer meals, then we encourage you to buy many if you can afford it, because that way you can get these made into meals, get them in your freezer, and then you don't have to go grocery shopping again for quite a while. And that's what ultimately saves your budget, like a lot.
It really, really does.
So make all the ground chicken taco meat, or you can go into the club and you can get like the ground chicken lettuce wraps, the ground chicken stroganoff, the ground chicken sloppy joes, the barbecue sloppy joes.
Oh,
those are good.
We had them last week.
Yeah.
I think it was our first time having them since the mega session. They're were
good.
a hit.
I know.
They are very good.
They're giving regular sloppy joes a run for their money.
Oh, that's taking it a bit too far in my opinion. But I mean, we are sloppy joe connoisseurs here. No, they are really delicious. Both are good. The regular sloppy joes and the ground chicken sloppy joes.
Okay, now I'm gonna do the most expensive meal. So it is quite expensive because we crossed the $10 mark here. This is $10.30. So, like, yikes. But it does have 6 servings, which works out to $1.72 a serving.
Right.
So for less than $2 a person, you can feed everybody. Now this one is not like the taco meat where you're gonna need more ingredients later.
Mm-hmm.
This is everything. If you get the giant Costco bag of frozen meatballs, or if you can find meatballs in a smaller container on sale, a really good sale, this is the one for you. Now that giant Costco meatball bag, that is not inexpensive. But when you take out like just the amount of meatballs you need for this recipe, and if you portion it, whatever, this is what the cost breakdown is. For this, can you believe we're having cheese again? Like, we're including cheese and meat.
And cheese is expensive. Cheese has always been expensive.
Yes.
Meat and cheese. We are very frou-frou.
So in our large freezer bag, we're gonna put 3/4 of a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, 24 ounces of marinara sauce. Now what I'm using is 2 of those Hunt's jars,
Right.
that were 99 cents each, right? Then 15 or 16 ounces of frozen meatballs. Then you're gonna add 3 cups of water and some Italian seasoning. You're gonna seal up that bag, getting all the air out. Then in another bag, you're going to add 16 ounces of penne that is just dry. Just your dry penne.
Regular penne.
You're gonna portion that out now though, so that you have it ready on the day that you go to make this. And then in a third bag, so you've got your medium-sized freezer bag here, you're going to add another 3/4 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. You're gonna staple those bags onto the large bag, and then on the day you go to make this, I'm not kidding, this one's not only frugal, it's incredibly easy, because you are going to pour the contents of the large bag into a casserole dish, and then, no word of a lie, you are going to mix in the dry pasta.
It's a one
It's
pot.
a one pot. It's a casserole. It's a dump and go casserole. Amazing, right?
So that's why the extra water.
Yes.
I'm listening to
why
this
is
and I'm
there
like, why
water?
is there water? It's
Okay.
for the pasta.
So you're gonna bake it, and we have a meatball pasta bake that was so easy to make, so hearty, and cost you a little over $10.
And
for
I already
6
know
people.
that this is going to be kid friendly.
Oh yes.
It is going to be totally family friendly. My son is kind of nuts over meatballs, and I could make this tonight, right now, and he would love it.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. That's really.
I'm
you'd find a
excited about
meatball
that.
recipe. This next one looks like it really could be a hit at my house. It is sweet and spicy glazed pork chops. We are a pork chop family, so we're going to start out with our pork chops right in the bottom of the bag, and we are making a rub, folks. Separately, in another smaller bowl, we're going to put together the rub, which is brown sugar, some cayenne powder. Now, really depending on how spicy you like, this is a 1/2 teaspoon. You could go a little more if you like it spicy. You could go a little less. There's also some pepper that's going to happen a little later on, so keep that in mind. Some garlic powder, paprika, salt, and like I said, that pepper. We add those in together, mix them around so that they are evenly incorporated, and then we can put that right in on top of our pork chops and mix them around so that they are all covered, and then we're going to add in that oil, and that's going to be part of your marinade, right? When part of the rub. And so all of that is going to infuse so nicely as it freezes, and again later on as it thaws, because we're going to just seal it all up, get it in your freezer. When you go to cook this, there's a few different ways you can cook your pork chops. These ones we have today are the little thinner guys. We can go ahead and just fry them. You could barbecue these, but I think you would just want to pan fry these, 5 minutes per side. They're going to be nicely browned, and these would go with, I don't know, some potatoes, which are also pretty cheap to...
Especially if you have them in your garden.
Especially, you can grow your own potatoes. You could do a lot with these because they're going to be that sweet and spicy. That's going to make a nice barbecue feel to it. Plus, it's so nice because it's so different from anything else that we have. Like all of these recipes, there's a lot of variety here for your 20 for 20. I think these are looking really, really great.
Those ones work out to less than $6 total, less than $1.50 a serving. They're only 4 servings, of course, because there's only 4 pork chops in there. And so I'm not going to expect you to eat less than 1 pork chop each. And the last recipe that we're doing is a meatloaf because, like we said, when I saw Christy after I had gotten this sale, and I was really excited. And I told her that I had gotten, like, that I was still figuring out what I was going to do with all these, but I had gotten this ground beef, ground pork blend, and right away she was like, meatballs. Like, I would make meatballs with that, but I had this idea for the meatball casserole, and I like to give you variety. So
it's totally true.
Yeah.
So there's room for both in our little meal plan that we have here for you today. So
we're doing meatloaf, but I'm making Christy tell you about it because I don't like to touch meat.
It's true, and I don't mind, so here we go. We're going to start out with our beef and pork mix. We're going to add in some chopped onions, some breadcrumbs, Italian seasoning, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of salt and pepper, and some eggs, and that is it. We're going to mix it around. I like to use my hands because I think it does a better job. And this is something that you can put right into your freezer bag, and when the day you go to cook it, you can let it thaw, and then you just put it in whatever container you want. You can use a loaf pan. Lots of times I like to use an 8x8, like a square pan. I just find that it cooks nice and evenly. It'll be in the oven for about an hour at 350 and let it set, and then you can go ahead and serve it. You could put barbecue sauce on this, a little bit of ketchup. I think this is a winner.
And if you, again, are living on your own and you want to make this, you can either press it right into those little tiny individual loaf pans, or you can cook up a full one and actually cook it and then wait for it to cool a bit, slice it, and then freeze those individually in bags or in the trays that are like kind of like your own TV
dinner ones
that you can microwave. And so, yeah, there's lots of options with this meatloaf if you live on your own. And with the individual loaf pans, you can either cook them and freeze them, or just freeze them raw.
Freeze them raw because they're already in the little tin.
And so that one is $6.70 for 6 servings, which is $1.12 a serving. Now, the reason that one is a little more expensive, I know, still very inexpensive, but the breadcrumbs, right now, breadcrumbs are a little bit on the pricey side.
But here's an easy fix for that. Just save your heels and make your own breadcrumbs. I don't know about at your house, but it seems that my children are allergic to eating that part of the bread.
Definitely.
So I save mine separately. Sometimes I eat them, but I save them separately, and that's what I make my breadcrumbs out of.
And that's very frugal.
If you don't have a blender, you can put them in a bag and use a rolling pin or a pot because it's all dried. You could make your own breadcrumbs without a machine, and then it is frugal.
Totally.
I would have thought of that recipe, the Worcestershire sauce would have been the expensive part, but maybe it's expensive up front to buy.
Yes.
But you're really only using a little bit.
When you take the cost of the bottle and take out the amount that you're using for this recipe, it's very frugal. So,
but you can also get Worcestershire sauce at the dollar store. Like, you don't have to spend $5 or $6 for a bottle of it.
You're right, and I didn't even factor that in, so this could be even less expensive.
There is a lot of good stuff that is found at the dollar store.
So this Plenty for 20 deal ended up for us kind of morphing into 6 different full-size family recipes that we brought to you for under $40, which is amazing.
And it just really took a little bit of creativity and some need. Sometimes need drives that creativity, and it's possible.
So we want you to be able to eat better for less, not just less money, but less stress.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want you to have to worry every single day about like, what am I gonna make for dinner?
It does feel good to know that food is in there, and when it starts to get low, we start to notice and we get a little bit frantic. We start to dream about it.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay, I had such a crazy dream last night.
What?
And I woke up and I told my husband about it, but I forgot to tell you.
What?
Your son was about to be eaten by an alligator, like a giant crocodile. And your husband was kind of there, but not looking, like he was, so there was a pond, and the alligator came up out of the pond and was like very close to, and so I was yelling at him to get in my van, and I was yelling at your husband to
save him.
And so your husband went to try to, combat the crocodile, and it ended up it was chasing your husband, and I had your son safely in my vehicle.
What?
For real. And I woke up and it felt so vivid.
That is
and he
so
was
weird.
really being chased. And then there were multiples, and it was just this scary
multiple
dream.
Alligators?
Yes.
Boy.
And so, anyway, but he did protect your son.
Well, I should hope
and I
so.
did too.
And you did too. Well, thank you for saving my imaginary son and your imaginary dream. Wow.
I know.
I did not have a dream like that. I dreamt about, it was a little bit of a spicy dream.
Oh. That is maybe not for this channel.
Yeah, and it was weird. I'm not going to tell you about it, but it was weird. And
do you know how many comments we're going to get that are like, Christy, tell us about your dream?
But
She'll tell me off camera.
I will. It was a little bit spicy. When it was nice. It was a nice dream. And it had a good ending, and nobody died from crocodiles. But there was also, I lived in this house where there was a bunch of people that lived there, and people were always coming and going. It was like a commune. And there was this hot guy running the commune, the spicy part. It was very weird. I don't know why I was living in this big commune dream with the spicy guy, but it was.
When you said spicy, I just assumed it was your husband.
That's the funny part. If he wasn't even in it at all. He was in yours. Oh, sorry, we're a little off topic today, but in case you didn't know, we are neighbors. We know each other well. Oh, and your geese that we think are they were visiting my house.
I have Canadian geese this year in my yard.
Which is a little bit terrifying if you are aware of how they really are.
Yeah, it's nice to watch
see them from the
afar.
house or on the deck.
Yeah, but if you get too close to their nest, there's some stories.
They'll get you. But they were visiting, and so my cat was very interested in these geese. It was quite funny.
I feel protective now. I feel like they're my geese. Not like they can't go over there. I'm just I hope they're okay.
Oh, they were here this morning when I got here. They're good. The geese are good. So we'll take care of the geese. Yeah.
Having babies in my yard.
That is going to be so nice.
It's going to be so cute. And we're
cute.
Go see the little goslings and...
That will be good. All right.
We have gone
way off.
We're talking about geese and alligators.
We haven't seen each other in a while. Can you tell? Listen, tell us the best ways that you can save money. Tell us if you get to try any of these recipes, because I really think that meatball casserole might show up again and again a few times.
Absolutely. We're going to throw that one maybe into the casserole video that has the Mum's Monday macaroni in it, because... why not?
Why not? Let's give it a try. And we're just really glad that you could join us today.
We're going to put a video right there to one of our other frugal freezer meal videos so that you can save even more, get even more variety, and just get your freezer stacked so you can relax.
That's right.
Happy cooking, guys.